The Moon Knight Super Bowl teaser showed some new details about Marc Spector's weaponry and suit, leading some to believe the figure is a ripoff of DC's Batman. Despite the character's March 30th release date, very little has been seen of him. The additional aspects unveiled in the Super Bowl Moon Knight teaser provide a more detailed look at how the MCU is adopting this complex Marvel character. The 30-second Super Bowl Moon Knight video exposes some darker aspects of Marc Spector's character interspersed with dialogues between Moon Knight and Arthur Harrow, played by Ethan Hawke. Moon Knight throws his arms wide as he leaps at machine gun-wielding troops, revealing a vast white cloak that billows behind him. Marc Spector catches a curved blade boomerang while standing in front of a church late at night before leaping over rooftops. The crescent boomerang used by Moon Knight is undoubtedly similar to Batman's famed batarangs. Similar to DC's Caped Crusader, his cape and nocturnal rooftop antics generate undeniable similarities. While the parallels between Batman and Moon Knight in the Super Bowl teaser aren't necessarily deliberate, they aren't surprising. Moon Knight has long been seen as Marvel's answer to Batman among comic book fans. While some compare Tony Stark to Bruce Wayne's Playboy millionaire, Moon Knight has more significant parallels. While Iron Man prefers to battle at a distance, both Batman and Moon Knight like to fight up close and personal, which is ultimately more viscerally brutal. While Tony Stark suffers from his own demons, Batman's inner anguish is most often compared to Marc Spector's mental difficulties. While the Moon Knight teaser looks a lot like Batman in many respects, it's not because the MCU is mimicking DC, but rather because it's a symptom of the decades-long feud between Marvel and DC Comics. Since the MCU marches into DC's territory, it's clear to notice the Moon Knight trailer pushing into a darker and grittier tone, as DC is well established in the tone with Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy and the Snyderverse flicks. This decision, though, is a greater indicator of how the MCU and the DCEU are developing. In contrast to most of what Marvel has done before, Moon Knight is taking on a darker tone, which serves to build the frightening vibe that the Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness Super Bowl teaser establishes. Similarly, with James Gunn at the helm of the Suicide Squad and Peacemaker in the DCEU, the other brand is occasionally adopting the more irreverent tone that had been the MCU's signature for a while. Of course, there's a suggestion in the Moon Knight teaser that some of the parallels between this Marc Spector version and Batman are fueling a more deliberate competition. Moon Knight will be available for direct streaming on Disney Plus on March 30th. Meanwhile, The Batman, DC's grim new take on Bruce Wayne, will be released in theaters on March 4th. With the two titles being released so soon together, DC and Marvel must have anticipated comparisons and concerns about who handled the dark and morally murky heroes better.